Hello, I'm Bryce Brewer with Grace Technologies, here to talk to you today about our GraceSense Predictive Maintenance System. You probably know us from our GracePorts, which are panel interface connectors to program devices inside the panel safely with the door closed. You might also know us from our Grace PESDs, which stands for Permanent Electrical Safety Devices. This enhances your lockout-tagout program by allowing for the indication of the presence of voltage, as well as the safe test point, which can give you the absence of voltage test from outside the panel safely. The past 2 years, we've been working on our GraceSense Predictive Maintenance System, which is what we're here to talk about today. So this device is our vibration and temperature node. It would sit out on your motor, gather data from that, and send it wirelessly up to 30 meters to our CloudGate using 802.15.4 Zigbee compatible communication. This CloudGate collects data from all its children, and then it can send it up to the cloud using Wi-Fi or LTE, depending on the option you select. From there, we're going to go into a little bit of a hardware overview and get you an in-depth look at these devices. First up is our vibration and temperature node. This device would sit out on a motor and be able to send back information about that motor's health using a triaxial accelerometer as well as a surface mount RTD. So it's all overmolded, has a replaceable long life battery that lasts 3 to 5 years at a 1 hour setting. So this device has an LED to provide status indication, as well as a through hole where you can mount it onto a variety of our other mounting options or stud mount directly to the equipment. So if you didn't want to tap a hole into your motor or other piece of equipment, we have our plate mount base. So this would be epoxied onto the motor, and then you just stud mount directly to it using this threaded hole. Next up is our magnetic base, which is the same thing as our plate mount base, except it has 2 magnetic strips that allow it to attach to a motor, bearing, or any other rotating piece of equipment that you're interested in. Last is our Epoxy FIN MOUNT base. So this would just go into the fin in a bit of epoxy, and then you stud mount just like the other ones right under the top. And then our power and I/O expansion modules. So this device is actually the center one here. The battery mounts to the top, and it sits on top of our vibration and temperature node, which you can see the LED right there coming through. This option has a coaxial connector, which can be used with this type of antenna cable, but this can be removed and a remote antenna can be ran through that guarding. Other options include an M8 connector, to where you can power the device using 24 volts instead of the battery. Here's a quick look at that just by itself without the battery and the node attached. Then we have our CloudGate. So this is the parent in the network, and it would sit within 30 meters of its children to grab that 802.15.4 communication. And then this one's configured with Wi-Fi to bring it up to the cloud. We also have LTE via AT&T or Verizon. We also have on the back the ability to use an RJ45 Ethernet port to communicate with a PLC, and that can be done at the same time as using your cloud connection, so you can have data in multiple places. Currently, we have the ability to interface with Ethernet IP to your control logics or Modbus TCP IP. The terminal blocks that you see here allow you to bring in 24 volt power and then sensors. So this would be any third-party sensor that matches the type of input card that we have installed. So this is configured at the factory just like you would configure an I/O slice where you're bringing in analog. So you can choose 4 to 20 milliamps, accelerometers, thermistors, 0 to 10 volt sensors, and more.